Welcome and thanks for joining us for another segment of EPISD Live. Today we're joined by Board of Trustee President and Representative 6, Trent Hatch. Welcome, Mr. Hatch. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Superintendent Cabrera. Thank you.
So you've been on the board now for about, if my math is right, 26, 27 months. The first 24 months you were a board officer, and now you've become the board president as of June 21st. Just tell us a bit about the 2 years before, quickly, and then we'll talk about the board presidency.
Yeah, so we've been on the board for over 2 years. We're really excited about that. We've got another 2 years approximately or so left in this term. But the first 2 years was exciting. There was a lot going on at EPISD at that time. We passed a TRE, we passed a bond. We worked hard and diligently to bring in new programs, new tech, other programs throughout our school district. We had a lot of excitement about the programs and everything that we've brought to the district, and we're really excited about that.
So how has it changed since June 21st, all of 60 days or so that you've been board president?
A lot has changed. Less sleep, more stress, a little more gray hair, but
we talk a lot more.
That we do, absolutely. We spend time strategizing and talking about how we can improve our school district. But in all seriousness, a lot has changed. There have been significant changes within our board. One of our trustees out of District 7, Trustee Fennenbach, has stepped down. That's a big change on our board. We've also started our school year, and that's always an exciting time. We've also rolled out technology in our middle schools. That's changed a lot. So there's a lot of things that have developed and changed over the last 2 to 3 months that we're really excited about, and we'll continue to work towards developing more initiatives and goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big difference being board president. I was being facetious about us talking more, but we went from speaking maybe once a week to about three to four times a day, not including any other times that we might communicate or meet. So it's quite a bit of a load being board president. So I appreciate your desire to do it, and the time you put in it, it does make a difference. Trustee Fennenbach had some big shoes to fill, and you've stepped right in. And
yeah, we try. We try. I think all trustees are very anxious to do their part, and if you're looking for a red carpet position, this isn't the one.
No,
as I tell the folks, it's a lot of work, and we're looking for. Our trustees are looking forward to the future.
Because I mean, one of the things that folks may not realize is that in addition to your job as a trustee and helping be a fiduciary for the district, oversee it, especially as board president, you might receive maybe more of the concerns from parents, concerns for the community, and things we need to sort, bigger items like travel and what happens with our athletes, all these sorts of things that we face. So that's quite a difference in terms of being informed by the board president versus doing it. It's a big difference, I would imagine.
Absolutely. We spend more time really looking at the big picture. Obviously, I represent District 6. That's really important to me, and I was elected for District 6. But as the president of the board, you have to be really aware and keenly aware of what's happening throughout the entire district, and ensure that you're taking care of all the students. And obviously, as a trustee, that's your goal. That's exactly what you're appointed to do. But as a president, you really take that even, I think, a little bit more personal. To ensure that you really are caring for all the students in the district.
So I want to talk just a moment about our board goals. I'm really proud of the new focus we have on student outcomes. But before we do that, let's talk just generally about the goals you have for your 2 years as president.
Yeah, one of the things that I find that's really important, and I've kind of given it some thought over the last 48, 72 hours, is one of the things I'd like to really improve are our SAT and ACT participation, the curriculum, the outcome. When I've taken my own children and other students of EPISD who have graduated to universities to visit colleges for a variety of reasons, but one of the things they always ask them is, what's your grade point average? And then, what was your score on the SAT? Those are really important scores that really dictate some of the opportunities that our students and children have as they enroll into universities. There's a lot to that, and I think that I personally do believe that that's an area that I would like to focus more on, because that's the outcome. So,
absolutely. Anything else in terms of the presidency or what you see that improvements you'd like to make across the district? Not including our board goals. We'll cover those.
I think really important also is we just passed a bond, approximately $70 million. The first in the history of El Paso this large. As a president, I'm very, very concerned and that we ensure that taxpayers' money is going to the projects we committed to. We finish on time and under budget. And not only that, to ensure that the longevity of these funds are being watched over. I think it's really important, and I know taxpayers have approached me on that. I personally, as a taxpayer, I am not exempt to that. I get to pay taxes as well. I'm very concerned about ensuring that we are spending this money wisely and we're frugal and financially sound.
So what you mentioned the bond, let's go ahead and stay on that subject for a moment. I wanted to ask you about that a bit later, but what's important about that I'm very proud of is we've already put money into place. So we've got turfs out there, we've got the laptops that we paid for, playground equipment has started, buses have been bought.
Right.
I think it's important, for the taxpayers to know that we're not sitting on our hands, we're not waiting around. We're going to try to spend that money as fast as we possibly can.
Correct. Part of being a citizen of the community and my early engagement in EPISD came when there was 2007 bonds that had been sitting in our district for years and years and years, and those funds should have been put into play to help our students and to help our facilities and to build our school district. And unfortunately, those funds sat for a long time. And so there's a responsibility that we have as trustees. We have a bond oversight committee that is strong, that's committed to doing the right thing. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to ensure is, as a board president, that we're strong with our bond funds. And as we move forward over the next 3 to 5 years, our aggressive build-out goals.
How do you feel we're doing so far on the bond in terms of just where you think we'd be? We're almost a year in, so this November will be a year from the time we passed it.
I believe that our financial team from district has done a great job in monitoring the market and releasing bond funds, maximizing those dollars. I believe that our facilities team is doing a good job at working with the community. I believe that the projects that we have rolled out are making a difference. I hear already from members of the community how they're really impressed with the projects that have been rolled out. And so personally, I'm really excited about that. I know we still have a lot of work to do, but the early comments and feedback that we get from the community is it's very positive.
We're excited. I'm proud of the work that we've done, and all the staff have done a great job. And I think that we'll be, I'm pretty excited to put a year-end report, at least our first 12 months. Right. And folks need to consider, realize that even the first 60 days or so, 90 days, it's really more getting set up to start spending the money, selling the bonds, and signing up our program manager and these sorts of things before we even get started. So even considering that, I think we made a lot of progress early on, and we will begin to see, construction at the end of 2018. So that's great.
Right, exactly.
Let's talk a bit about the board goals. Now, I mentioned earlier that we're really proud of the fact that the board has made a dramatic shift. I think in the first few years, the district that I've been here since 2013 really focused on governance. We had state control over the district. Under your leadership with President Fennebach, the trustees moved to local control, TRE, bond, quite a bit of governance or in issues that are important, but we're outside of the classroom, so to speak. And so now this feels like a shift for me.
There is, and I've told people, I said, well, how's your experience been since you joined the board or was appointed a board member? I think we've done more as board members in the last 2 years than probably most board members throughout the state of Texas will do in 10 years. Yeah, within 2 years. We've done quite a bit, and so we're very proud of those accomplishments. We're not done. We have a lot to do. There's a lot of growth and opportunity to improve in, and so we're excited. But I think as a board, our goals and directive is to improve graduation rate. We need every student in this district to understand the importance of graduating. High school graduation is one step. The next step is we want every student to enroll in certain type of higher education, whether it's trade school, whether it's military, whether it's two-year, four-year higher education institution. That's our goal. We want every student, and their potential is greater in income if they realize and enroll in those institutions, that they have a greater future, not only for them, but for their families. And so we're really concerned and we're really focused on trying to put in programs and emphasize that we want our students to continue their education, not only just that once they graduate, they're done from high school.
You mentioned graduation rates, which is really important. We want to increase the number of kids and the percentage of kids graduating, but also I think an important differentiator in our goals is that we said we wanted to close the gaps between the folks that are graduating at a higher level versus traditionally
Correct.
these different groups. Can you talk about that, what that means in terms of bringing both groups up and squeezing
Right.
the difference?
So we have, you know, just if you look in society, you have really overachievers, and you have some that aren't as fortunate, or you know, aren't provided that great opportunity sometimes. And so the focus is, how do we bring those individuals or students who come from a broken home or do not have that supporting family at home.
financial issues,
Financially issues. There's a lot of things that play into that, social and emotional learning. And so the idea is to give those students an opportunity to rise to the top, and then also help those at the top remain high at a high level but continue to grow. And so we want to raise the bar for everybody, those who are unfortunate, less fortunate situations, and bring them to a higher level, and those who are at a higher level to help them grow as well. So we want everybody to grow and close those gaps.
And we also focus on dual language.
Absolutely.
That's where we want to try to graduate kids, you know, bilingual, biliterate, able to work not only in both cultures but both society in you know, in Spanish and in English, and then hopefully more languages as we go down the road. And I think one of the other goals is really focusing on engagement and making sure that we set up schools that are not just meeting the academic standards but are engaging for kids, that they enjoy learning.
I just met with several students yesterday. I talked to a few, and I asked them, what do they like about their current situation? And a lot of them were part of the New Tech program at one of the high schools. And what they really, the message that they sent to me was they like the interaction, the collaborative learning, their ability to think outside the box versus the standard memorizing trends or trends that they've typically been taught under. And so a lot of these students are really anxious about being able to grow, to be able to collaborate, to be able to think on their own. We're not trying to create robots. We're trying to create students who can think and be productive and citizens in the future.
Yes.
And creative thinkers. And that's exactly what I think, what I know we're trying to offer here for EPISD.
So just last question before we finish. We recently, as you mentioned, had Trustee Fennenbach resign. She was Representative 7, and everyone's asking about the process for the vacancy. Could you just give us just an overview in a big, you know, sort of a high level of what the process is?
Yeah, so the process is pretty straightforward. This is the first time this has happened as a board member in a while, from what I understand at EPISD. But we really, first of all, appreciate President or Trustee Fennenbach's service to our community. She did a phenomenal job. So those shoes are going to be big to fill. But there are some really strong individuals in our community who have expressed interest. And I believe that we will find someone who can help continue with the goals and objectives of our school district and our board. But the process is as follows. We as trustees, we have created a questionnaire that we've asked the potential trustee to fill out. They need to go through the state process of filling out the questionnaire from that side, where they live, and you know, the documentation that's needed. They need to turn that into the district, provide that by a deadline that's being released as we speak, and then from that point, we're gonna get the community involved. I believe community engagement and involvement is very important. We'll have an open forum at Coronado High School. We'll also have individual federations, teacher federations, interview the potential candidates. We'll also ask other organizations within the community to interview the candidates and give us feedback. And then we'll also, as trustees, sit down and talk to the individuals to get to know them a little bit better. And then at the end of the day, we'll vote as trustees as to which individual would best fit that seat. And we'll be transparent and open, and we want the best candidate and the best individual to represent District 7, also represent EPISD, and at the end of the day, support our students and our parents.
Great, great. Well, thanks so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Appreciate you. Thanks for your
Appreciate it.
service to the district, and thanks for all the time and energy you're putting into this as board president.
Thank you.
Thanks again for joining us for another segment of EPISD Live.